All right, let's dive in. We're about to unpack a history that, for a lot of people, has been kind of hidden in plain sight. And honestly, it's a story that might just change how you see one of the biggest faiths on the planet.
So let's just start with this. Being Catholic is not a white people thing, it's a Jesus thing. Wow. That's a pretty powerful statement, right? It just cuts right through a common idea and basically asks us to really think about what it means to be Catholic.
Okay, so where does a conviction like that even come from? Well, for a lot of folks, it begins with what some call a Catholic attitude. And no, we're not talking about some stuffy, pious thing. It's more about this really deep, personal connection to a faith that just feels like home.
You see, for so many people, this faith was never some kind of foreign import. It's woven right into the fabric of their family and their culture. Think about it from the perspective of, say, a Congolese American Catholic. This faith wasn't something handed to them by outsiders, nope. It was their grandma's song. It was communion under mango trees. It was always theirs.
But here's the thing, that deeply personal, rooted experience, it crashes right up against a really common and really powerful public misconception.
So let's just ask it directly. Is Catholicism a white man's religion? I mean, that's a provocative question for sure, and it's one that a lot of people, whether they're in the church or not, have struggled with. To really get to the bottom of it, we've got to figure out where that idea even came from in the first place.
And this right here really shows the disconnect, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the image many of us grew up with, a white Jesus, a faith that seems tied to European colonizers, with all the robes and art to match. But then, there's the hidden truth, the reality, a brown-skinned Middle Eastern man, a faith with roots that go deep into Africa and the Middle East, and a spirituality that looks and feels different all over the world.
So you might be asking, how did we get here? Well, in a way, it makes sense. As any faith spreads, people naturally start to picture the divine in a way that looks like them. But the problem was, as European power and influence grew, their image became the image. It just kind of pushed all these other equally authentic cultural pictures of faith to the sidelines.
And that brings us to the real heart of what we're talking about today. It's time to correct the record. It's time to shift the story back to where it actually began.
I mean, just take a look at this. Long before Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire, its story was already all over Africa. The Holy Family themselves took refuge in Egypt, an African country. One of the very first converts we read about in the book of Acts, an Ethiopian official. And get this, the very bedrock of early Christian theology was built by brilliant thinkers from North Africa.
So let's be super clear about this. The history is undeniable. Black and brown people were not late to the party. They weren't a footnote in somebody else's story. No, they were part of the foundation. Africa wasn't just a place for missions, it was a birthplace of the mission.
And you know what? That foundational role, it's not just some dusty old history. It is a living, breathing reality today. So let's take a look at how this faith is expressed in these vibrant, modern ways. This quote really gets to the heart of it. It's inspired by the incredible work of Father Jerome Ledoux. He basically said, look, when you bring your own culture, your own Afrocentric liturgy into the church, it's not a distraction. It's a declaration. It's a testimony. It's a celebration.
And what does that actually sound and feel like? We're talking about a faith you can feel in your bones. It's that holy rhythm of a drum. It's the radical idea that the blues, born from so much pain, can actually be holy, that sorrow can swing, that a place like Congo Square, a place of survival against all odds, could become a launching pad for something sacred. Now that is a faith with its arms stretched wide open.
And hey, if you're wondering where the real energy and the future of the church is right now, just look at the numbers. The faith is exploding in Africa. It's like those ancient roots are just bursting with new life. The whole demographic center of gravity, it's shifted, big time.
Okay, so all of this brings us back to one single crucial word. And it's time we reclaim what it really means. The word Catholic, what does it actually mean? It comes from the Greek word katholikos, and it means universal, or according to the whole. Think about that. It was never, ever meant to mean just one culture or one look or one way of doing things. The whole point, the very definition of the word, is that it's for everyone.
And the sheer scale of that universal family, it's honestly hard to wrap your head around. We're talking 1.3 times billion people.
That's a family as diverse as humanity itself. Every story, every culture, every song, it's all part of the whole.
And this is why it all matters so much. This isn't about some narrow colonizer's version of Jesus. This is about the global Jesus, the one who gets what it's like to be an outcast, who lived under an empire, who heals trauma. Now that's a Jesus that anyone, anywhere can connect with.
Which leads us to this powerful, powerful point. Black Catholics, they are not anomalies, they are not novelties. It's what we've been getting at this whole time. As the saying goes, we are part of the foundation, not the footnote. This isn't about asking to be included. It's about everyone recognizing a truth that's been there from day one. It's the difference between feeling like an add-on and knowing you were there when the foundation was poured. And in the end, when you strip away all the history, all the art, all the debates, what are you left with? A single, defiant, hopeful truth. The tomb is still empty. And that belief, that hope in resurrection, it belongs to no single culture. It belongs to everyone.
So we're going to leave you with this question. After all this, what does faith mean to you? Seeing this bigger, more accurate picture, does it change anything? What does it look like to reclaim faith on your own terms in your own way? It's a pretty powerful thing to think about.